Remember, if you like what you see, contact us at impact@proctors.org. We'd love to hear from you. Next up is myself, Nick Barber. I'm the host for the government segment on Impact, and my special guest is Don Rittner. Don Rittner is the Schenectady County historian and the Schenectady City Film Commissioner. The Film Commission has been in business for a couple of years now. It was a spin-off of the Film Alliance, and Don Rittner will be talking about local history in Schenectady and the Capital District, and about new developments in the Film Commission for this area. So this should be an interesting one. I had fun interviewing Don, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Don Rittner. Welcome to Impact. I'm Nick Barber, your host for the government segment, and today's guest is Don Rittner, my special friend and special guest. Don is the county historian for Schenectady County, and he's also the chairman of the Schenectady Film Commission, which you've probably heard a lot about. Don is going to bring us up to date on history and film and motion pictures and television and all of that. Welcome, Don.
Yeah, it's good seeing you.
Yeah, thanks for coming. So tell us, what's going on?
What's new?
What's new? You want to start with history or films?
Well, they're kind of in Schenectady. They're sort of intertwined anyway.
That's true.
A lot of people don't realize that the fact that we have sound on film was a Schenectady invention back in the 1920s.
Really, right here in Schenectady,
right here
New
with
York?
a guy named Hoxley from Schenectady, a GE engineer.
Right. Yeah.
He's the one who came up. He invented a thing called the palaphotophone, and it was the first sound on film.
Wow.
So the whole development of that comes from Schenectady. A lot of people don't know that. So
You
a
know,
little historical tidbit there.
Well, I remember you put out a paper, Schenectady's First.
Yeah.
It was a publication.
Schenectady, yeah. That was a little history.
And it was
of
loaded with things
With
that, I mean, I've
firsts.
been here all my life, and I didn't realize all of the firsts that Schenectady claims credit for.
Well,
It was amazing.
And not just Schenectady, the whole Capital District. I
Yeah.
mean, more Troy and Schenectady. They were more of the industrial cities.
Yeah.
But even Albany had a few, sort of firsts. I mean, they invented the perforated toilet paper.
Hey,
Which
this is the one you want to put your
there's
name
one
on.
you want to put your name on. But, Albany went more government.
Yeah.
But Troy and Schenectady became more of the industrial cities. Troy was mostly with iron and steel.
Right.
They made millions of horseshoes. I mean, the entire Northern Army during the Civil War, all those horses had Troy horseshoes on them.
Right.
Burden. And then they invented the collar and cuff industry.
The Cluett Peabody and
Peabody,
Detroit,
yep. And there were
Collar
like-
City,
there were
Detroit, New York,
That's right. There were hundreds of collars and cuffs and
Yeah.
shirt manufacturers over there.
Right.
So, and then you come here, early we had the development of the railroad. We had the first passenger railroad in New York State, and some claim America,
Yeah.
with the Mohawk and Hudson. And then you had Schenectady Locomotive that started in the 1840s, and they started producing thousands and thousands of steam engines.
Right.
And in fact, the Transcontinental Railroad, the railroad that connected the east to the west, both of those trains that met were built in Schenectady. One
Yeah.
was called the Jupiter. And there were 3 local guys who created that whole company.
Yeah.
So, technology, a lot of early development in technology,
Yep.
science, electronics,
Yeah.
come from this area. A lot of people
Sure.
don't know that.
Well, my father was a welder at the American Locomotive Company. Now we have the American Locomotive Alco Museum
That's right.
that's coming together, which is
Yep.
a wonderful thing. I've read
Well,
about
Alco, yeah, I mean, you think about American Locomotive, they made 75,000 steam engines, but they also, during the war, produced tanks.
it. Tanks.
And the famous tank killer, it was called the M7, the Priest.
Yes.
And that supposedly turned the war in favor of our side in North Africa, because the Germans had those big Panther tanks.
Yes.
And this little tank killer was just a big gun on a sort of a tank chassis.
Yeah.
Was able to penetrate these tanks.
Yeah.
And so Rommel was a little surprised by them.
Yeah.
And they were all made here. And what's funny about that story is that it was a top secret, production. They were driving around Schenectady. Everybody in Schenectady knew what they were.
I saw when I was a kid.
And
I
no
used
one
to
said a
see-
word.
I used to see the tanks go up and down Lennox Road at my grandfather's house.
Yeah, they used to go up to.
They were testing them.
They would test them up there.
And they were breaking up the macadam, the
Yep.
blacktop. You see the tracks.
Yeah, they had a
tank
testing
tracks.
center up there. They
Yeah.
had one out in the Pine Bush.
Yeah.
And this M7 tank killer, everybody in Schenectady knew it, and not one person said a word about it.
That's
I mean, it was like
amazing.
they were driving them all over, and everybody pretended they didn't see it. and then until Rommel got the receiving end of them.
So it was a well-kept secret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in '53, the English, they were built for the British. In 1953, they came over and they actually had a celebration here, and they had a time capsule they put down in Liberty Park, and there's still a plaque down there.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Great. Well, so
So a
much
lot of
history.
history, yeah.
Well, we could do about a 2-hour
Right,
show on
yeah.
that. Why don't we talk about your role, if you don't mind, as the film commissioner for the Schenectady
Okay.
Film Commission?
Well,
You know, we
and I-
had the
yeah.
big film,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Well,
we worked together.
I
but
mean, you and I started the Film Alliance a few years ago with Winter of Frozen Dreams, and then it sort of
Yes.
evolved into the commission.
yes,
And it's you, me, and several other people, Philip Morris. I mean, there's
yes,
7
some
people
good
on the
people,
commission,
creative
yeah.
people,
Great
Yep.
people on it.
Yes, thank you.
And we've been, lucky. I mean, I think because of Winter of Frozen Dreams had a good impact, and the people who made that movie had nothing but great things to say
Yes,
about it.
they were very
what we did.
happy.
Yeah, we saved them a lot of money.
Yes.
We did the casting call for them. We got locations for them. Well, that spreads around. The independent movie company, the industry, it's a small knit community. Everybody talks to each other.
Yes.
And I think that sort of said, hey, Schenectady's a good place, to shoot a movie. You can save money, and the people up here are great. And that's really what happened with Pines. I heard about Pines back in January,
Yes.
January 11,
Yes.
from a friend of mine, a newspaper friend of mine, who said, "Do you know anything about the movie?" And I said, "No, but I'll find out."
Yeah.
And it took 5 months to sort of convince them to come here because they were going to shoot that in New Mexico. It had a 40%. They have a 40% tax break. We only have 30%.
Mm-hmm.
But
Is that something we're working on? Are we
well, the
competitive
state-
enough, or no?
Well, we are because with Pines, what I said is I'll make up the 10%.
Well, yes,
by
the
free
savings
we're
with
getting
all the
locations and
production
all
is
that, yeah.
sure.
But
yeah.
no, it doesn't look like, in fact, we almost lost the tax credits.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
The New York was not going to approve them.
Well, that's something that
So
we
every
need to
year
do
they
is-
got to sort of, lobby to get those going.
Absolutely.
But if we had lost those, I mean, there's several television shows that are shot in New York City that were ready to move out of the city.
Yeah.
So the economic impact from a movie for example, Pines cost I think $15 million. We estimate they dropped about $2 million into the local economy.
That's
We had
significant.
2,000 local people working in that project.
Yes.
Actors and technical crew
Yeah.
and stuff. So there is they ate here, they slept here,
Yes.
they rented houses in the stockade.
And it just showcased Schenectady too.
And
I
it was
mean,
it
in
generated a
general.
buzz, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
we had-
Schenectady's on the map again.
That's right.
You know.
And we had the 2 hottest Hollywood actors and the hottest director
amazing
for 3
yeah.
months.
here in
And
Schenectady.
then you had Ray Liotta. I mean,
Yep. I
and you
love
had,
Ray Liotta.
You had all these other.
Good
We had
fellas.
7 stars. in
Henry Hill.
Schenectady,
Yeah. Yep.
So it does. It generates a buzz.
Eva Mendez.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
it's real good stars. there.
Ryan. I mean, the whole
Yeah.
group. And I hear Derek told me he thinks that Ava may even win an Academy Award for her performance.
Really?
in this,
Wouldn't
yeah.
that be something?
Yeah, he said
Yeah.
she was that good.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that'll come out probably the end of the year, and it's
Yep.
all Schenectady. I mean, it's.
Well, we hope you have a little local premiere or something, or a screening at least.
Well,
in
we have.
Schenectady. Yeah.
Philip said we could do it at Proctors,
That'd be good.
but I don't think they have their American distributor yet. They sold all their foreign rights in one day at the Toronto Film.
No
Fest.
kidding. Boy,
But
that's
they
a
usually wait
success.
till the movie's done before they get an American distributor.
That's a success.
And once we find out, then we'll say, hey, you made it here.
Yeah.
It says made in Schenectady.
Yeah.
I mean, the police department, you see Schenectady Police.
We'll be in the credits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's good.
So I can't see them saying no.
Yeah.
And at least have some kind of an upstate premiere.
Well, what else? That was an amazing home run, that one. And you don't get a movie like that every day,
No,
but
no.
hopefully we'll get others. But what else is going on? You were telling me earlier about some ideas of local filmmakers and local talents that the Film Commission would like to sponsor some kind of an event,
One of the things,
which I thought was a good idea.
one of
but
the things we
tell us
know-
more about it. Here we
yeah.
got the audience
one
watching.
of the things that we know, you and I, because we work with these people, is that how many talented filmmakers there are in the Capital District.
Yes.
There is hundreds, of not just filmmakers, but the technical crews, all the
Camera
peripheral
people,
industries, right.
lighting, electricians.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a very big population.
Yes.
People don't realize that, but we work with them, and we see the results of a lot of the stuff they do, but the public doesn't really see a lot of it.
Yeah.
Because there's not the venue.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, well, why don't we as a commission and Proctors, maybe every other month, put on a special screening. So
Right.
what we'll do is we'll invite the filmmakers to send us copies of their finished product.
Yeah.
And not everything is great.
Yes.
But I just saw one the other day. It's called Cold I Am by 2 kids from Averill Park, 22 and 23-year-old, which blew me away.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I was watching a Ken Burns documentary.
Wow.
That's how good it is. So, you know.
Young guys too,
Yeah,
huh?
22 and 23
Men,
years old.
males,
They're
yeah.
just kids. Yeah.
That's terrific.
Jim and Steve Powers.
Yep,
The Powers
undiscovered
brothers.
talent, you know.
Yeah.
This is what we want to showcase.
That's what I mean. So that's what. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
you have this, and you know, and you and I again, we know a lot of the local filmmakers, and we've seen their stuff.
Yes.
And but there's not a lot of venues for locally produced stuff. So
Right.
why don't we, you know, every other month, screen some of this, and then pick the stuff that's really good, put it together, and then show it here on
That'd be
public
great.
access.
That'd be great.
So people
Put
can
the spotlight
see.
on Schenectady too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
a lot of good networking.
Yeah.
You know, we're running out of time, Don. We're visiting with Don Rittner. He's speaking as the chairman of the Schenectady Film Commission. He's also the Schenectady County historian. We'll be looking for that showcasing of local filmmakers. That'd be terrific. It's a short interview. We hope you can come back again.
Sure, anytime.
We didn't have an awful lot of time, but it's always great to see you. It's always been great to work with you over the years, and I think that you've accomplished a lot. We want to thank you for the endless hours of volunteer time that you put in on
As
a lot
well
of
as
these
you.
things.
You do the
Well,
same
thank
thing,
you,
so
but
it's
you know, we
good.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
anytime.
Don Rittner. Okay,
Thanks,
thanks
Nick.
Don. You've been watching Impact, and we'll see you next time.